The lawyer's office smelled like leather and old money. 10:23 a.m. on a Friday morning, and my siblings' faces were turning the exact shade of red I'd seen on overripe tomatoes in Dad's garden. "This is bullshit!" My brother Marcus slammed his fist on the mahogany table, making the water glasses jump. The worst part wasn't that they were angry. It was that 6 months ago, when Dad could barely lift his head from the pillow, none of these faces had shown up to help me change his sheets at 3 a.m. Let me take you back 3 years. Dad's diagnosis came on a Wednesday. Pancreatic cancer, stage 3. The oncologist gave us the statistics, 9% 5-year survival rate, and I watched my sister Lauren check her phone twice during the consultation. "We'll all chip in," Marcus had said in the hospital parking lot, his Tesla gleaming in the autumn sun. "We're family." Lauren nodded, already scrolling through her calendar. "Absolutely. I've got that conference in Barcelona next month, but after that, I'm all yours." My younger brother Ryan, the baby at 31, squeezed my shoulder. "You're the closest, though, Em. And you work from home, so—" I did work from home. I was a freelance graphic designer, pulling $60,000 a year from my one-bedroom apartment 15 minutes from Dad's house. Marcus was a hedge fund manager clearing 7 figures. Lauren ran a consulting firm with offices in 3 countries. Ryan was a software engineer at Google, but I was closest, and I worked from home. The first month, they visited. Lauren came twice, stayed for 4 hours total. Took selfies with Dad that she posted with #FamilyStrong. Marcus sent checks, $500 here, $1,000 there, like he was tipping a valet. Ryan video called every Sunday until the football season started. Dad's first round of chemo hit him like a freight train. 2:15 a.m., November 3rd. I was holding a basin while he vomited, his whole body shaking, when my phone buzzed. Lauren's Instagram story, champagne flutes clinking in Milan. #living my best life. I took a screenshot. I don't know why yet, just instinct. By month 3, I'd moved into Dad's house completely. My apartment sat empty, $1,400 rent still coming out of my account because I was too exhausted to sublease it. I'd lost 2 major clients because I couldn't meet deadlines. My savings account was bleeding out at $800 per week between Dad's copays, groceries, gas, and the medical supplies insurance wouldn't cover. "Can you guys help with some of the costs?" I asked in our family group chat. Marcus, "Didn't Dad have savings?" Lauren, "We're all struggling, Em. My business took a hit during COVID." Ryan, "Maybe look into Medicaid." Dad had $47,000 in savings when he got diagnosed. By month 6, it was gone. I'd started putting his medications on my credit cards. April 12th. Dad's oncologist wanted to try an experimental treatment. $3,000 out of pocket, not covered by Medicare. I called Marcus first. "I need help. I'm $23,000 in debt. I can't— I just bought a lake house. Money's tight." I actually laughed. A lake house! $1.2 million according to the Zillow listing he'd shared in the family chat. "I'm drowning, Marcus. Maybe you should have budgeted better." Click. I called Lauren next. Voicemail. Tried Ryan. "Dude, I'm in a meeting." That night, Dad had a lucid moment. The cancer and meds made him confused most days now. He grabbed my hand, his grip weak but deliberate. "Where are they?" His voice was a whisper. "Who, Dad?" "Your brother and sister, and Ryan." My throat tightened. "They're busy. They'll visit soon." He looked at me with those watery blue eyes. "You're a terrible liar, sweetheart." I started keeping a journal, not for any particular reason at first, just to process everything, but it became a record. March 15th. Dad fell out of bed, called Marcus at 4 a.m. No answer. Called Lauren. No answer. Called Ryan. No answer. Managed alone. Dad has bruised ribs. April 3rd. Dad's medication increased. New side effects mean he can't be left alone. Asked siblings to cover one weekend so I could sleep. All unavailable. April 28th. Dad asked about Marcus today. I started crying when I said he was working. Later, found Marcus's Facebook post from a Vegas bachelor party. Same weekend. May 19th. Lauren's assistant called to ask Dad's shirt size. She's sending a Father's Day gift. Haven't seen her since February. The journal filled with 127 entries over 14 months. May turned to June. June turned to July. Dad's good days became rare jewels I'd treasure. A shared laugh at an old movie, him eating half a sandwich, a walk around the block that didn't leave him gasping. July 24th, 6:43 a.m. I was changing Dad's sheets when he started talking about the house. "Your mother and I bought this place in 1987, he said, his words slow but clear. 37 years. Raised all four of you here. It's a good house, Dad. I updated my will last month. Mr. Peterson came here." My hands stilled on the fitted sheet. "You updated your will?" "Had to. Things change." He looked at me carefully. "People show you who they are, Em. I've been watching." A cold feeling washed over me. "Dad, you don't need to—" "Let me finish. Mr. Peterson, my lawyer, a good man, handled everything when your mom passed. He helped me make sure things were fair. Really fair. Not equal. Fair." He fell asleep before I could ask more. I called Mr. Peterson's office that afternoon. "I don't want to pry into my dad's affairs, but—" "Your father was very clear-minded when we met," Mr. Peterson interrupted. "Very specific about his wishes. He wanted to make sure you knew he'd taken care of everything appropriately." "What does that mean?" "You'll understand when the time comes, Emily." Dad died on October 8th, 10:17 p.m., with my hand in his. Pneumonia, a complication the doctors had warned about. His last words were, "Thank you, sweetheart." All three siblings made it to the funeral. Marcus flew in from Martha's Vineyard. Lauren cut short a crucial London trip. Ryan drove up from Mountain View, complaining about traffic the entire time. At the wake, they told stories. "Dad taught me to ride a bike," Marcus said, eyes misty. "He never missed my soccer games," Lauren added. "Best father anyone could ask for," Ryan finished. I stood there silent, thinking about the 487 nights I'd slept in a chair next to Dad's bed, the 1,000+ medications I'd administered, the 47 emergency room visits, the countless hours holding his hand through pain I couldn't imagine. My friend Jessica squeezed my arm. "You okay?" I nodded because what else do you do at a funeral? 2 weeks later. Mr. Peterson's office. October 22nd, 10:23 a.m. We sat around that mahogany table. Me, my three siblings, Mr. Peterson, and his assistant. The office had a view of downtown, sun streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. My siblings were already smiling, probably calculating their inheritance. Dad's estate wasn't massive by their standards, but it was substantial. The house, worth $890,000 in the current market. His retirement accounts, $340,000. Life insurance, $500,000. Various investments and savings, another $180,000. Total, roughly $1.91 million. 4 kids divided equally. $477,500 each. I watched Lauren discreetly Google Tax on Inheritance California on her phone. Mr. Peterson cleared his throat. "Before we begin, I want you to know your father was completely sound of mind when he made these decisions. He was very deliberate and very specific." He opened the document, started reading the standard legal language, then got to the distribution section. "To my daughter Lauren, I leave my collection of family photographs in my mother's recipe box, with the hope she'll remember that family is more than a hashtag." Lauren's smile froze. "To my son Marcus, I leave my father's watch and my fishing equipment, with the hope he'll learn that time is more valuable than money." Marcus leaned forward. "Wait, what about—" "To my son Ryan, I leave my vinyl record collection and my woodworking tools, with the hope he'll understand that some things require you to show up in person." Ryan's face went pale. The office was completely silent except for the distant sound of traffic 15 floors below. "To my daughter Emily," Mr. Peterson continued, his voice gentle, "who gave up 3 years of her life, her savings, her career opportunities, and her own health to care for me when I needed it most, who never once complained, never once asked, 'Why me?' who held my hand through every treatment, every painful night, every moment of fear. I leave the remainder of my estate." The silence shattered. "That's not legal," Marcus roared. "This is bullshit!" Lauren's voice was shrill. "He wasn't in his right mind." "We're contesting this," Ryan said, already pulling out his phone. Mr. Peterson held up his hand. "Your father anticipated this reaction. He included a letter. Would you like me to read it?" "Yes," all three shouted. I sat frozen, unable to process what was happening. Mr. Peterson pulled out a handwritten letter. I recognized Dad's shaky handwriting immediately. He began to read. "To my children, Marcus, Lauren, and Ryan, I know you're angry. That's okay. But before you lawyer up, consider what Emily has lost. Let me itemize it for you since Marcus loves his spreadsheets. Emily's financial losses. Approximately $67,000 in medical expenses she covered. $16,800 in apartment rent for a place she couldn't live in. $40,000 in lost income from clients she had to turn away. $23,000 in credit card debt from my medications. Total, $146,800. Emily's time, 1,095 days of primary caregiving at 8 hours per day minimum, and we both know it was often 16 to 20 hours. That's 8,760 hours. At a basic caregiver rate of $25 per hour, that's $219,000 in labor. But here's what you really took from Emily. 3 years of her life in her 30s, the ability to date, to build her career, to travel, to live. You took her peace of mind and her sense of family, because every time she needed you, you were busy. I watched. I saw everything. I saw Emily call you 47 times in emergencies. I saw her cry when you didn't answer. I saw her defend you when I asked where you were. I saw Marcus post photos from Aspen the weekend Emily begged him to stay with me so she could sleep. I saw Lauren's assistant send a Father's Day card Lauren never signed. I saw Ryan's "I'm too busy" texts while Emily missed her best friend's wedding to take me to chemo. So, no, this isn't unfair. What's unfair is that Emily sacrificed everything while you three lived your lives. This isn't a gift to Emily. This is me trying to repay a debt I can never actually repay. If you want to contest this, go ahead. But now that Mr. Peterson has documented everything, the calls Emily made that you ignored, the expenses she covered, the hospital visits where she was the only one who showed up. Emily also kept a journal I asked her to maintain for exactly this purpose. All 127 entries. Your inheritance is the memories you created. Emily's inheritance is compensation for the life she gave up. You got what you gave. With disappointment, but not surprise, Dad. The room felt like all the oxygen had been sucked out. Lauren was crying, but they were angry tears. We had careers. We had obligations. So did Emily, Mr. Peterson said quietly. We sent money, Marcus protested. You spent $17,500 total over 3 years, I heard myself say. My voice sounded strange, distant. I spent $146,800, plus my credit card debt, plus 3 years of my life. We visited, Ryan tried. You visited 14 times in 3 years, combined. I counted. I pulled out my journal, the one Dad had mentioned. February 9th, Lauren visited for 2 hours, spent 90 minutes on work calls. March 3rd, Marcus visited for 3 hours, left when Dad started vomiting because it upset him. April 17th, Ryan video called for 15 minutes, said he had a raid starting in World of Warcraft. You can't hold that against us, Lauren shrieked. Dad didn't hold it against you, I said, and suddenly I was crying too. I never told him how many times I called you begging for help. He figured it out on his own. He had eyes, Lauren. He could see your Instagram posts from Paris while I was cleaning his bedpans. Marcus stood up, his chair scraping violently. We'll contest this. No judge will let this stand. Actually, Mr. Peterson interjected, California law fully supports a testator's right to distribute their estate as they see fit. Your father was evaluated by 2 independent physicians before making these changes. Both confirmed his mental competency. Additionally, he video recorded his statement of intent. Would you like to watch it? We watched the video. Dad, thin and pale but clear-eyed, sitting in his bedroom 2 months before he died. "If you're watching this, I'm gone, and your siblings are probably angry," he said into the camera. "Marcus, Lauren, Ryan, I love you. I always will. But love doesn't mean ignoring reality. Emily gave up her life for me, not because she had to, not because she was close or worked from home. She did it because when I needed someone, she showed up. Every single day, every single night. The rest of you showed up for the funeral. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to teach you something I apparently failed to teach you while I was alive. Family isn't about blood. It's about showing up. It's about sacrifice. It's about love demonstrated through action, not words. Emily demonstrated love. You demonstrated convenience. This will give Emily what she deserves. If you think it's unfair, I invite you to calculate what you would charge for 3 years of 24/7 caregiving. Then we can talk about fair." The video ended. Nobody spoke. Finally, Lauren gathered her purse. "I can't believe Dad did this." She walked out. Marcus followed, stopping at the door. "You always were his favorite, Em." After they left, it was just Ryan and me. "I'm sorry," he said finally. "I should have helped more." I nodded. I didn't trust my voice. For what it's worth, Dad was right. About all of it. He touched my shoulder briefly, then left. 6 months later, I'm standing in Dad's house, my house now. The for sale sign came down yesterday. I couldn't sell it. Too many memories, but also, it's home. I used part of the inheritance to pay off all my debts. Another part went into a savings account, security I'd never had before. The rest I'm investing in my design business. Hired 2 employees last month. We're thriving. My siblings and I don't talk much. Lauren sent a brief email at Christmas. Marcus's wife reached out, apologized on his behalf. Ryan texts occasionally, usually articles about elder care reform with "thinking of you." Maybe we'll heal, maybe we won't. But here's what I learned. Fairness isn't always equality. Sometimes the person who sacrifices everything deserves everything in return, not as a reward, but as restoration of what they lost. I miss Dad every single day, but I'm not angry anymore. Not at him, not even really at my siblings. Dad's will wasn't about punishing them. It was about honoring what I gave, and maybe, just maybe, teaching them something about what family really means.